Vivian Pettigrew is a lifelong Charleston resident, an educator, and a person who's concerned about the future of Charleston County students. And that's why she's running for the North Area seat on the Charleston County School Board. I speak exclusively with Vivian for a special edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores.
Vivian Pettigrew.
Yes, Mr. Quintin, Washington.
It's so nice to meet you.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you.
You so very much for inviting me.
Oh, you're welcome anytime.
Okay.
I know that you are a lifelong Charleston resident, and obviously you went to Barnes Wilson High School. You studied at North Carolina A&T, and I was talking with Liz Alston. She knows you very well.
Oh, yes, that was one of my teachers.
Yeah, great lady.
Great lady.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, she is.
And now I understand that you are actually going to be running for the Charleston County School Board's North Area seat.
Yes.
And I know there's 2 seats open for that.
Absolutely.
Tell me why Vivian Pettigrew, why now?
Quintin, that's a good question. Why now? I feel like I'm at a pivotal point in my life that I can give back more to our community. North Charleston is a great place, and there are people in North Charleston who want to see things change in our school district. And I believe that I will be the catalyst to help make those changes.
And you know, let me go to some developing news coming from Chris Collins' page. As you know, he's a huge supporter of the Prestige Preparatory Academy. And he wrote a long Facebook post a couple of days ago basically saying this: City Bond Coates and Charleston County School Board Chairwoman Kate Darby, the children at Prestige Preparatory Academy Charter School need your support to move into the old Garrett School building that has available space. They have to move from the old naval base due to poor construction. As public servants to the community, will you please remove the outrageous demand for payment of $65,000 up front to move into the Garrett building? What school in Charleston County School District can afford $65,000 and pay teacher salaries? No other school has been charged to move into our buildings. Some schools even use our buildings and buildings rent-free. These children were feeling behind the Charleston County School District's traditional classrooms. And now, for the first time in their lives, some of these male children have made A and B honor roll. Don't our children deserve your support to obtain a more promising and brighter future in which they can have a prosperous career? What is the alternative to a good education, Coates and Darby? Please let the children move into the underutilized Garrett building immediately. When you think of the future of the Prestige Preparatory Academy, what goes to your mind?
Well, Prestige is, from what I know, matter of fact, I visited the school a couple of years ago because I wanted to find out more about what they were doing for boys, especially African American boys. And interesting enough, they did some good things there. I don't know of any school in Charleston County that has to pay for move-in fees, and I don't think any school should have to pay money as long as they are at Charleston County, part of Charleston County School District.
And let me take you to North Charleston. I know that obviously you're running for the Charleston County School District and you have knowledge about education in schools and as far as population. What are the biggest schools in the North area right now?
The largest schools that we have in North Charleston would be Stall High School. They're up and growing in the North area wise. Larger schools are in other areas such as Mondo High School and West Ashley High School. Stall would be one of the largest high schools that we have in Charleston County and North Charleston. There are a lot of great things happening in North Charleston. I think one of the best kept secrets in North Charleston is Military Magnet High School. They offer a lot of opportunities for our students. We have Midland Park Elementary.
Right.
Nobody ever goes and visits them very much, but they are doing some wonderful things, especially in their Head Start program. Phenomenal, Quintin.
Yeah. Well, that's great to hear. And I know on your website, in talking about student achievement, you said this: you would like to work with our communities to improve student achievement. What is the state of student achievement right now when you think of the Charleston County School District?
Well, we're talking about failing schools and third graders not reading on grade level. I think that we need to pool our efforts and have more accountability. I really believe in the teachers at Charleston County School District. We have some great teachers. Don't let anybody fool you that we don't. But the schools and the principals need an opportunity to manage their schools. They know their community. They know what their schools need. And the board needs to rally behind them to gap these disparities in our failing schools. But we need to work together as a board and pool our resources. We need to have more transparency in our budgets. We need to really look at bridging the gap in our failing schools. If we have a school in downtown Charleston that's doing great things, Minnie Hughes out in the Hollywood area, their test scores are climbing. We need to go to these schools and find out what they're doing. All children learn differently. You and I learn differently. And we need to work toward bridging these gaps. Allow the principals to manage their schools. Give the teachers what they need to do their jobs. And that's how I feel about what's happening with Charleston County Schools.
And you talk about downtown Charleston, the big topic right now is about Stony Field and its future. You know, when I interviewed Tony Lewis last week, he says no more bandage, no more bandage, no more patching. He wants a brand new stadium down there. When you think of the Stony Field and its future, what do you want to see with that?
Well, I've been around Charleston County a long time, and I know when Burke High School have always played on Stony Field. It's never been what it should be, and I believe that we need to help every school in every avenue. Our parents want the same thing across the board, the best education, they want the best environment for their students, and they want safety. As a community, Burke High School needs a place that they can call their own. When we talk about community schools, we need to have those things in the community to make the community grow. In our public schools, that's the beginning of everything about economics, of the future generations. So yes, I believe that we need to put some money into Stony Field for Burke High School to have a wonderful place to play. North Charleston needs a great stadium, a better stadium. I think the last stadium built in Charleston County was West Ashley High School, and that still needs some improvement. So we need to look where our dollars go. As a school board member, I feel like we have a moral obligation to hear our citizens, to hear our principals, to hear our teachers, and give them the things that they need for our children to make their futures better. That's what we need to be working toward.
Okay, you brought up a couple of points, and I want to break them down in 3 particular questions. Okay, the first, you talk about the dollars. Obviously, the Charleston County School budget has come out. What would you add and what would you take out of the budget if you were on the Charleston County School Board right now?
Well, Quintin, I've looked at the budget. I've gone to bed with the budget. And there are a lot of things that we can improve in our budget. Our spending needs to be minimal in some areas. And salaries, administrative salaries, for one. We have a lot of people that we're paying, and I'm not sure about why we have all of these people that we're paying for some of these salaries. When you formulate a budget, or I formulate a budget, we look at what comes first. What is the most important thing? The most important thing is the education of our students. I know that we have a budget for buildings. That is, we need to spend those monies. Burns Elementary, Mary Ford Elementary, Millham Park, those schools are old. Why haven't we improved them? We need to look at not spending money unnecessarily in our district. We need more transparency in our budgeting.
And let me go to the role of the Charleston County School Board. You just mentioned it just a tad bit, but what should be the role of a school board member in your mind?
In my mind, we need to be overseers. We need to see that we have a clear vision. That vision needs to have a goal, and our spending in that vision needs to be equitable for all schools. As parents, you have children. Every child is different. And parents give each child what they need. As a school board member, we're responsible for knowing what schools need. And we need to work together and helping them to succeed in their goals.
And obviously on the Charleston County School Board sits Superintendent Dr. Jarita Postway. What letter grade would you give her right now as far as performance in your mind?
Do you really want me to answer that, Quintin? Well, I'd have to give Dr. Postway a C. I believe that there's a lot of controversy in our board, and I think that ultimately the buck stops at the leader. And when our leader is not hearing what members of the community, what the principals, and what the teachers are saying, we're in trouble. We really need to be more clear and more precise in our vision and our goals for the children. That's our number one goal, educating children, making them have the best potential that is possible.
And let me get back to you, Vivian Pettigrew. Obviously, you're a lifelong resident here, you're an educator. But when you take off those hats, who else is Vivian Pettigrew?
Well, she's a mom, a grandmom, and a person who loves people and loves children. Being a part of Charleston County has been a joy in my life. I see students that are now adults, and when I talk with them, they say, "Hi, Ms. Pettigrew, how are you?" And it's good to know what they're doing and that you had a part in helping that young person socially, mature socially, economically, and morally. That's what we want for all young people. And it is, as I said before, it's our duty to do the best that we can, as often as we can, for these students. Vivian Pettigrew is a small business owner. I prepare taxes and do accounting work for small businesses. I've seen them come from the bottom and move to the top. I'm about making changes and helping people find a way to make changes in their lives. That's what life is all about, Quintin.
And you talk about changes, obviously November's coming when the election comes. If you were to be elected on the Charleston County School Board after that election date, what will you do first on day one?
Day one, I'd like to really sit and learn as much as I possibly can about the issues at hand with the board members who are elected and who spent time and who have some savvy about what's going on. I want to talk with the superintendent and find out what her vision is and what direction she wants to take us. And then I think that we need to come together and find a common goal, which should be our children, our teachers, our principals, the teachers' assistants, even the custodian, because that's where we leave our children every day. We entrust these people with our children for their future. We're helping. Parents help, and parents are really involved, and they want the best for their children. So we have to push to make sure that they can get it.
Vivian Pettigrew, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate this.
I really appreciate you having me, and thank you so very much for inviting me, and look forward to seeing you and working with you in the future.
Likewise.
Thank you.
Thank you.